If you've ever been fascinated by what wild animals get up to when they think nobody's watching, you may want to invest in a trail camera. Battery operated and triggered by motion, they're perfect for secretly capturing the often hilarious antics of Mother Nature's best and brightest. Indeed, these images are all the evidence you need to prove that animals are just as kooky as us humans. Flying squirrels usually feast on things like fruit, insects and birds' eggs. But even if you're not on the menu, you're probably going to run out of the way when one comes zooming towards you, just like this clearly terrified deer did. Hopefully, though, the winged demon is just after those apples on the ground. Clearly, whoever raised this bird feeder off the ground didn't give the raccoons enough credit. It seems, after all, as though these clever critters really know how to work together to achieve a common goal. Which, when you think about it, is more than can be said for a lot of humans. This coyote chorus howling at the moon seems like something out of a cartoon. In reality, though, it's a perfectly timed shot captured by a well-positioned trail cam. But any which way, we'd like to see the shots taken immediately afterwards to find out just what that glowing pair of eyes belong to. Not all deer are happy padding along on all fours like some kind of, well, animal. This gallant individual, for example, seems to have mastered the art of walking on two legs just like a human. Good luck actually spotting a deer doing this in the wild, though. It's obvious that the adorable ruminants don't want to reveal to us just how intelligent they really are. Even in the deer community, it's apparently important to be fashionable, and that's something this animal clearly knows only too well. After all, no deer just rolls out of the grass in the morning looking that perfectly groomed, and we bet that stylish do takes some work to maintain, too. We can't say we don't admire its effort, though, considering how impressive the results are. Did you know that there's a rare species of deer that can levitate? Okay, maybe not, but that's sure what this mid-hop creature looks like he's doing. In reality, he's probably just chasing after a potential mate, but like an awkward teenager, he's doing it with absolutely zero subtlety. Come on, guy. Just play it cool. While the deer are distracted by their meal, this raccoon seems to have figured out that they're all being watched. But it's no surprise that, of the three, the little fella would be the one to cotton on. After all, raccoons are known for being curious creatures, and they're not called masked bandits for nothing. As if this gathering weren't already creepy enough. It's made even more so by the animals all staring ominously in the direction of the camera. Has this trail cam owner accidentally stumbled upon a tribe of highly intellectual deer? Probably not, but if you're ever in need of inspiration for a horror story, here it is. What was that we said about raccoons working together? Well, this pic, in which one raccoon looks to be providing for the rest of its companions, is further proof if ever you needed it. Total squad goals. This bird looks seriously cheesed off that someone's been brazen enough to leave their trail cam in the vicinity. In fact, we dread to think what the next few pictures were like. Presumably, the winged one was so furious that it destroyed the camera in a fit of rage. At least, that's what those crazy eyes are saying to us. Thanks to trail cam images like this one, the world now knows that flying squirrels really have developed a taste for deer. Well, maybe. Unfortunately, though, this poor victim doesn't seem to have yet received the memo. We've really no idea what's happening in this image, but that doesn't stop it from being perhaps the most hilarious deer pic of all time. You can almost hear him screaming, "Don't look at me," as he realizes that there's a camera watching his every embarrassing move. Sorry, friend, you've been immortalized on the internet now. And nothing ever leaves the internet. These party animals are clearly having the time of their lives underneath this broken deer feeder. And this shot also makes us wonder if raccoons understand the concept of portion control. After all, that's a serious amount of feed right there. What we know for sure, though, is that we wouldn't want to be the ones clearing up the mess they leave behind. There's always one, right? That bossy individual who feels the need to order the rest of the group around. Turns out that that's a truism which extends into the animal kingdom, too, judging from this snap. Yes, it really looks like this guy is in the middle of giving his fellow deer a vehement telling. Have you ever seen a pair of foxes do serious battle? Well, it happens more often than you might think, among cubs, anyway. In fact, there's a social hierarchy among foxes that's established very early on in their lives. And the showdown captured here seems to be a trial of strength between two individuals, both of whom may be attempting to knock the other down. While foxes fighting on their hind legs is definitely a thing, it's arguably rarer to see deer giving it a go. But as these two prove, it does happen. Usually, it's when they don't have any antlers to butt together. Instead, they have to clamber up to their feet like people and do battle with their incredibly sharp hooves. And it's not something we'd want to be stuck in the middle of, no siree. As it turns out, flying squirrels aren't the only airborne creatures that deer need to watch out for. And while this owl may be punching slightly above its weight, you can't blame it for giving it a go. In fact, given how terrifying those talons look, we actually don't fancy the deer's chances much in this battle. There's nothing like hitching a ride from a bigger kid. After all, that's what we all did before we were old enough to drive, right? This raccoon's just taking that ethos into the animal kingdom. Fortunately, though, the hog doesn't seem to mind that much. And it's undeniably lovely when nature's creatures work together in harmony. This was apparently the last image that this trail cam ever captured. Clearly, the bird wasn't happy with having its privacy invaded like that. Then again, we can't say we blame it. How would you react to finding that a camera's been secretly watching your every move? Think about it. Nobody's ever watched The Truman Show and thought, I wish this coyote is presumably rethinking its all-guns blazing attack. After all, those deer don't seem in the slightest bit bothered by it, which may be all the more surprising considering how easily they run away from humans. Then again, the coyote is a lot smaller and isn't carrying a weapon. We'd love to see how